Hello, everyone. This is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover. I'm back with another movie review. Tonight, we're going to talk about 2010's Suicide Girls Must Die. Okay, now it says here, warning, this is not your typical Suicide Girls sexy video photo shoot collection. We invited 12 Suicide Girls to come to Maine to shoot a video calendar and film their real and terrified reactions as the Suicide Girls begin to go missing. This is the world's first reality horror movie. Uh, Maybe. I don't know. For those who, if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you know who the Suicide Girls are. But in case if you don't, this is their logo, and basically what it is, it's pretty much it's a website where they take these models and they do pinups and they do photo shoots, and they're you can pay for memberships, you can do web chats, they do calendars, they do merchandising, like I said, live chats. You can do they do burlesque shows, and they make videos and things like that, and it is a little bit different than what some of people might be looking into. For instance, okay, what you really need to do, this is like this, for example, is one of the girls from one of their photo shoots, and you're going to notice right away, and this tends to be kind of a running theme with the Suicide Girls, is these are women. A lot of the time, they're the kind of girls, probably like nowadays, everybody would say they look like hipsters or something like that, or millennials or something like that. You're going to notice a lot of them. They have tattoos, they have piercings, they have, they got like purple color hair or something like that. So a lot of them look that way, but it really is an alternative to kind of like what you're used to seeing in mainstream, uh, modeling and things like that. But still attractive women. So like there you go. These are your models here on the back. So you kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at there. But here's the thing: before I get started talking about the movie, I'm afraid I'm going to have to kind of get into spoiler territory. So, basically the movie basically it plays out kind of like a cross between like a found footage film and a reality TV show. You have Amina, who is basically like the lead. She's the photographer, and um, they're auditioning these girls who are going to be the models for the calendar shoot for the Suicide Girls for the following year, and they decide that they're going to go to Maine so they can do their photo shoots, and the models can do their thing and stuff. So they all pile onto a bus and they're heading towards Maine, and like the girls, they're getting drunk and drinking a lot, and on their way there they stop, and they're like peeing in the road, and they get caught by they get caught by pedestrians, or telling them like you guys need to you guys are really just disgusting and everything else. And so yeah, but like I said, yeah, here in a minute, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get into some spoilers for this movie, but because it's kind of hard to talk about this one without doing it. So anyway, so they get to Maine, and they start doing their photo shoot, and it plays very much like I said. It's almost kind of like a Big Brother kind of a thing. They go to this house, and they're all like, Amina, she's explained to him, like when you guys are not shooting, you guys are going to be doing this or that, especially you need to go in the confessional and, videotape, um, your thoughts and feelings, kind of like video diaries and stuff like that, because, we're going to use them for, DVDs and promotional materials and things like that. So you guys need to do that. And once they get up there and they start doing their photo shoot and everything. And here's one thing though, too. I mean, if you're the kind of guy, or girl, if you're the kind of person who is really turned off by, women, like I said, these women have a lot of piercings and tattoos and things like that. And I'll go ahead and give you like another example. Yeah, something like this. I mean, if this turns you off, I mean, if it doesn't turn you off, great. You're gonna love this. But like women, like this, who they have a lot of tattoos, a lot of piercings. They color their hair, they dye their hair, or whatever else. If you're turned off by that kind of thing, then yeah, this movie's not going to be for you. You're not going to like it. Well, you're not going to find the women attractive, at least. But yeah, I mean, it didn't bother me. I mean, I thought the women looked amazing. So, no comments, no complaints from me. I was fine with it. So all the nudity was actually a very nice, pleasant surprise. But see, here's the problem though: is like while they're making they're doing their photo shoots and stuff like that, then it turns out that well, one of the girls has gone missing, and it seems like another girl's going missing. And then like at one point there's like a little island off the coast of the main um, house that they're renting and stuff. So they go over to do a photo shoot there, and it seems like one of the girls disappears over there too. She does reemerge later, but it seems like now another girl goes missing and things like that. So, but here's the problem though. A lot of the girls are starting to, well, not a lot, but a couple of them, they start getting really worried and they start to get frantic and they're trying to figure out what's going on. At one point, they call the cops, but the cops think that the girls are just, basically just, kind of, just playing pranks and just being stupid and stuff like that. So the cops are not taking them particularly seriously. So the cops are not really any help. And Amina, they keep going to her, and and basically she's like, I'm an asshole. I don't care. All I give a shit about is getting my, doing the photography and getting my photo shoots done and getting my calendar out. That's all I care about. I don't give a shit if these girls want to just take off and go off wherever the hell they're going. And so they're kind of debating, should we, go ahead and look for these girls? One of the girls is actually very upset about it, and she's like, these are human beings. Why is it, nobody cares? These girls are human beings, and they're disappearing, and it seems like just nobody gives a rat's ass about them. And why is it nobody wants to find them? And why does anybody want to do anything? Why does it seem like we can't get any help out here? And she's starting to get more and more worried. But as the movie goes on, it's like Amina, she's very single minded in purpose. You got to give her that. I mean, her goal is, I just want to get the photo shoot done and everything. And so at one point, they finally, they do find one of the girls actually ends up being tied to a table, and it's never really explained who did it or why. She basically just says, like she pretty much like she was drinking and they were partying in a hot tub and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like when they're not, that's the thing too. When they're not photo shooting, they're having girl on girl action in a hot tub, and they're drinking, partying, and all this stuff. And so, and she's basically like, I just woke up this way, and so the one girl, she keeps getting really frantic about the whole thing, and she's just like, I'm really scared. We need to do something. And finally, they get done with the photo shoot, and so many girls have gone missing by this point. And you know, Amina is, they're all like, yeah, now we're gonna have our celebratory party and all this, and so they're going, they're having their party, and she's crying and she's upset, and it's weird because of the way they're acting and all this, and so you're sitting there thinking, why is and they're just all like, she's all like, shouldn't we do something? Shouldn't we call the police? Shouldn't we, go find them? There's even like video footage of one of the girls sitting out on the dock and somebody coming up behind her and picking up like a rock or something and smashing her in the head with it, and she falls into the lake. And and it just seems like, why is it these people are human beings and nobody gives a shit whether they live or die, and nobody seems to care whether we find them or not, and what is going on here? And and that is one of the problems, I hate to say, in this movie, is kind of like they kind of tend to keep having the same conversations over and over and over again. They kind of keep asking the same questions over and over again, like, why is it so and so has disappeared and it seems like nobody cares? And so I mean, I'm pretty certain a lot of this movie was pretty much improvised. I don't think there really was it says there was no script on the cover, so I'm pretty sure there probably wasn't, but it just seems like nobody cares that these girls have disappeared. And so finally, the next morning, they realize, like, when they first get there, they have to give up their cell phones, and they're like, yeah, no cell phones, none of that stuff. It's like, if you guys gotta talk or something, there's no phones, none of that stuff here. We don't want you guys sitting on your asses playing with your phones the entire time. So, if you guys need to talk or you got something to say, go say it in the confessional and things like that. Or if you got a problem, bring it to us. Um, so the next morning they find out even more of the girls have disappeared, and so they're uh, so some of the girls decide that they're going to take the boat. They got like a motor boat that they're going to pretty much take back to the main island and try to get help there. Whereas like Amina and two of the other girls, they decide that they're going to try to walk. So because right now pretty much nobody trusts each other, and you got like Amina is blaming the one girl, and then the other girl's blaming Amina because Amina seems like you know, she's not worried about what's going on. She doesn't seem like she cares about what's happening to the girls. It seems like all she gives a shit about is her photo shoot. And Amina, basically, her attitude the entire time is always like, what is wrong with you? Why you always gotta be such a damn buzzkill? It's like we're trying to celebrate, we're trying to have a good time, we're trying to get our photo shoot done, get our calendar done, and all this other kind of stuff. And that's what I'm concerned about. And it seems like all you want to do is just sit here and piss and whine and moan all the time. And so anyway, so the girls they start off in the motorboat, and then they get out a good distance, and then the boat dies because there's no gas left in the motor, and so they realize they should have put gas in it. So they start trying to row their way back to the mainland. They see a light ahead. It's kind of like calling them, for a place to bring the boat back to. And meanwhile, Mina and her two associates, they're going up and down the road. They're trying to find they're trying to find anything, a house, a phone, car, cops, anything. And they say they walk like 10 miles and then they don't get anywhere. So they have to turn around, walk all the way back. Um, and like I said, everybody just kind of keeps these girls, they kind of tend to just keep having the same conversations over and over and over again. It's always, well, what about you? Where were you? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you say that? Well, I thought we should have done this. Well, you didn't say we should have done that. Why didn't you do this? Well, we should have done this. It just kind of feels like they're just kind of looping the same conversation over and over again. They just keep asking each other the same questions, and everybody's just kind of passing the blame around, like, and it just seems like nothing dialogue wise, nothing at all is getting accomplished. You know, and finally the girls get back to the island, and it's getting dark, and they try to get back in the boat. They realize they got to kind of like get out of the boat, get in the water, and get back on land. So they do, and once they get on land, they pretty much strip down. So you got these girls pretty much bras and tank tops and undies and things like that, and they're you know gonna try to get back to the main house that they were at. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, now this is where we get to the real spoiler part of it. They're walking through the woods and everything, and then all of a sudden, basically, you see like people with like camouflage and like like what you see hunters and army people doing and stuff. Like they put like they use like foliage and stuff like that to cover themselves and debris and everything else, so they can be camouflaged and everything. And so they start chasing the girls around. You see like the girls start kind of like getting picked up and carried off into the woods and into the dark and stuff. So it's like, wow, holy shit, it's kind of creepy. So just when you think like, well, wait a minute, did they come to this cabin? And it turns out they kind of like intruded on this group of hunters that like hunt people or something like that. And you're down to the final girl, and just when it seems like all is lost, then boom, it's revealed that the whole thing is a joke. Nobody died, no killings happened. Basically, they do an April Fool's Day in this movie. If you've seen the 1980s movie April Fool's Day, where they think that this is going to like in the movie, they think that people are getting killed, they're being picked off one by one, only to find out that the whole thing was actually, it was all a prank set up by their friend Muffy, who was going to we come to find out she's got this nice, beautiful kind of like, a house, that she was going to pretty much turn into like a bed and breakfast slash murder mystery weekend kind of a thing. Not exactly, but something kind of similar happens here where pretty much you just find out that like it was all just a big kind of bullshit deal that they were just making this whole thing up for for their video and stuff. And they thought it'd be kind of a cool and interesting idea to do this as kind of like a horror movie kind of a thing. So yeah, so if that's one thing I got to say though, if you're the kind of person who, you know, I didn't mind it too much. I was a little underwhelmed when I found out the whole thing. I admit it because it was kind of just like when they do that stuff, it's like a big up yours to the audience, and that's kind of what this felt like. But if you don't mind that kind of a thing, if you don't mind that kind of a twist at the end, then yeah, I think you'd have a lot of fun with this. You got these beautiful, it is a fun movie overall. I mean, you got these beautiful girls, plenty of nudity, really nice to look at. The setup and everything else is kind of awesome. You unfortunately, well, when you come to find out, it's like, well, you're hoping you're going to see like kind of blood and gore and carnage. There's very little, hardly any blood in here at all, because you don't see any like except for the one girl getting her head hit with the rock sitting on the dock. There's nothing else. You don't see any of the girls. Well, no, that's not true. You do see a couple of the girls get attacked in the camera trailer. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, just kind of but then you realize like the whole thing's not real. It's all just a gag. It's all just kind of like a kind of like a promotional thing that they're doing and stuff to just try to. But you realize at the end of the movie that nobody's hurt, nobody gets killed. There's no killer. There's it all pretty much goes nowhere. But I mean, if you can handle a movie like April Fool's Day from the '80s, you can handle this. But it does kind of like make it more confusing though, in the sense that like the scene where I talked about where Amina and her two friends they go walk 10 miles and they pretty much turn around and walk back. If they know that the whole thing is false and they know that it's all a prank, they know it's all bullshit, it's not really going on, why did they put themselves through all that? I mean, if they're in on it and they know that the whole thing's not real, why did they go through the whole motions of walking the 10 miles, then walking back and sitting here arguing with each other, accusing each other of being the killer and stuff? It's like it goes nowhere. So I mean, that's kind of the big point. But anyway, though, it's like this isn't bad. I mean, it's not too bad. It's kind of fun. Like I said, I was a little underwhelmed by it, but the build up is fun and kind of like the anticipation is fun. I think that's just kind of it. Just the ending doesn't really pay off very well, but but anyway, though, I would say especially like if you like looking at beautiful girls who do pin up calendars and doing nudie pics and stuff like that. If you like seeing gorgeous naked women, you'll like this. And there's plenty of the nudity and stuff in there. And like I said, you just gotta like women who have piercings and tattoos and things like that. If you like that, you're good to go on here. So yeah, it's kind of fun. It's just you're going in expecting a great horror movie and blood and gore and carnage everywhere. Yeah, you're gonna be let down by that. But and just kind of like too, this kind of, I will say, I do like the way the cover is done here because it really does kind of give you that feel of like, you got your hands on like a movie you shouldn't be looking at. So I mean, kind of like it kind of sets you up a little bit to be disappointed when you actually watch the film. But anyway, that's gonna about do it. So yeah. Anyway, I said go ahead and check it out. If you're a fan of the Suicide Girls, or if you want to see what the Suicide Girls are all about, this is a good introduction. Kind of give you an idea of what they do and what they're all about, and you can look into their website and things like that. So start supporting them and get a membership. So anyway, that's going to do it. So well, if anybody watched this video, I thank you for doing it, and I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that I was insightful enough and kept you entertained. I really do. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I do weekly movie reviews and shelf by shelves of my videos, and haul videos, things like that. Trying to do other things, trying to work in theme weeks now and stuff. So hopefully, I come up with some good entertainment for everybody. But so that's it. Until then, this is Cinema77, horror and cult film lover. Thanking you one last time for watching this video, and take care. Have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye bye.